Hello, this is John Kohler from discountjuicers.com, and today I'll be giving you a video demonstration of the Green Star Juicerr by Tribest. Really great juicer. First, I'll show you how to disassemble and assemble this juicer. The Green Star Juicerr is a twin gear juicer, so basically it works by two gears rolling around and the produce getting crushed and pressed, the juice pressed out between the two gears. So let me show you some of the parts that are included and how easy it is this juicer is to assemble. So the first part you'll notice is a wooden tamper, which is used to push produce down into the machine. You also get a plastic one. I only recommend actually using the wooden tamper because what will happen is you're supposed to put the plastic one in a certain way, and if you don't, basically the gears will eat up the plastic. But in this case, if the gears do eat up the wood on the tamper, that's all right because the wood is just fiber. It'll go through the juicer and get expelled with the pulp. Now this is an FDA certified, wood pusher.
That's for one level.
So to take this juicer apart, there's a couple parts. First, there's the funnel piece. This part comes off. If you want to zoom in on this, me taking it apart here, that'd be really great. Then you have the feeder chute tube comes apart. Now to remove this juicer, there's basically two knobs on the end that you'll turn. So you'll turn these counterclockwise to loosen. One, and then there's one on the other side, two. Then what happens is these open up. Then this piece comes out. So this front piece comes out, and in here is the juicing screen. So the juicing screen, there's not a whole lot of area on the juicing screen. It is very easy to clean. Then you have the end of the juicer, and you have what's called the outlet adjusting knob. So the outlet adjusting knob on the end here basically has a spring on it. You can see the spring here. Now the spring basically puts tension on the pulp coming out of the machine and keeps the pulp inside the machine until it's really dry, and then enough spring tension gets on it and it allows the pulp to come out. There's also another attachment called the soft fruit adjustment knob, which is basically looks identical to this, but the color is a little bit different. It's probably either a purple or a green color, and the spring tension is a lot softer to allow the pulp of fruits to come out easier instead of getting backed up and clogged in the machine. The same thing can be basically done with the outlet adjusting knob if you put that into the machine and don't screw it in all the way. So we could just screw it in 2 screws, or we could screw it in 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 screws until it's all the way in there. So if you want some pulp to come out of the, not dry pulp out of the front, or if it's backing up, you want to, loosen this, let it off a little bit and unscrew that. The next parts that come out of the juicer are basically the 2 twin gears. This is basically the heart of the juicer here. The 2 twin gears basically roll together. As you can see, I'm rolling them together. The produce goes between those gears and get juiced. Now the main thing is, when you're handling these gears, be very careful not to drop them. I've had several customers, complain that this plastic will break, and this gear set's probably about a $200 basically cost on these. The main thing you want to remember on the gear set is when you're assembling the juicer, you'll see, I don't know if you can see that on camera, but there's basically there's 2 dots on this gear on the end, and there's 1 dot on this gear, and you want to basically make a triangle with the dots. You need to line up those dots before you put the gears into the juicer. If you don't line up the dots and put it in any way, then what will happen is the gears will mesh, because these gears are basically built to go in a certain way, and if you don't line up the gears, they may not mesh correctly and shred metal into the juice. So you always want to make sure that the gears are lined up properly before inserting them into the juicer. The last part you'll need to clean with the juicer is the main body housing. It's this piece here. You can see there are some nooks and crannies into this juicer. When you are cleaning, it's going to be a little bit harder to clean than some of the other juicers that we offer. And then the last part you'll have to clean is this part here. Juice tends to get around this area here, so I usually take a squirt bottle and spray it down, and it'll get it clean. So let's go ahead, step by step assembly of the Green Star Juicerr. The main body, you just put that on the machine. Make sure you line up your gears. You'll take the gears and slide them into the machine. You might have to rotate them and push them until they lock into place. You'll then take the juicing screen. Now you do get a couple different parts depending on the model juicer you buy. The GS1000 just basically has a juicing screen. The 2000 and 3000 come with a little bit different parts. They'll have either a blank plate or large hole screens, so if you want more pulp in your juice, you can use that. But with this today, we'll be juicing with the small hole screen. That's the one that works the best. You put that on under the gears, kind of locks into place. Next, you put the end cap on, slides into place. You'll close 2 levers, and you'll rotate these clockwise to lock them down. Now you want to do this like, I know a lot of men out there like to tighten things down really hard. You just want to get these nice and, basically finger tight and maybe another half turn. You don't want them too hard in there. We'll put the feeder chute in and we'll put the funnel on the top. And the nice thing about this juicer is you'll receive a glass juice collection bowl to catch your juice, and you also will get a strainer, to put on top of this collection bowl to strain the juice further. So today we're going to be juicing some wheatgrass and twin-year juicer. And on the wheatgrass, it's always best to use fresh wheatgrass, and you can just take and cut your wheatgrass yourself. And when you're feeding the wheatgrass into the machine, you always want to feed the tops first, right? So this machine is very, very quiet, you can see. So we'll just drop a little bit of the wheatgrass in at a time. And basically this machine will suck in the produce into it. It's really easy to use. I mean, it just took the wheatgrass out of my hands, sucked it right in. This is more easily demonstrated with something like juicing some parsley here. So you can see the top. Watch it just suck right in. Sucks that produce right in. You don't even have to push it in. Suck some more parsley in there. Look at that. Sucks it right in. Now beets, right? A lot of people use the beets and we'll just use the beet roots. But you know what? These beet tops, what vegetable do they look like? Do they look like maybe chard? I mean, beet tops related, they're all related. You can take this beet top right in the machine, it'll suck it right in. I mean, I love doing this. It makes juicing so easy. Look at that, sucks it right in. So once again, when you're juicing with the Green Star Juicerr, you want to rotate the items you're juicing. So I just put some greens in, going to follow by some carrot. Now this machine, because there's no, fast, sharp blades moving down, you will have to put some downward pressure when you're pushing the produce into this machine. So if you're maybe older and have some, problems with your joints, you want to cut things into small pieces. So it'll make it a lot easier to, push items into the machine there. So now we're going to be juicing some kale here. Not quite sucks it in as easy, but still really easy to feed in. Got some chard. Celery. Celery's great to juice, really high in electrolytes. Look at that, sucks the celery right in there. Spinach. Now I want you to focus in on this pulp coming right out of the machine here. Focus in on that pulp coming out right here, okay? This machine gets the pulp the driest out of most any juicer that's on the market. Look at that coming out. Because there's this outlet adjusting knob on here that basically lets the pulp get really, really dry. And the amazing thing about this juicer is, you can take this pulp and put it right back into the machine to wring it out an extra time, and it'll even get the pulp drier. So now we're going to put some apples into the machine here. So this machine is great for juicing things like carrots, apples, and celery, and cucumbers, and a lot of general things. Now, if you did want to juice specifically something like wheatgrass, if you want to juice all wheatgrass, this is not the machine I would recommend. The reason why is that this machine will juice wheatgrass definitely with no problem, but it does tend to create a lot of excess foam and maybe not the highest yield that you would get if you're just juicing wheatgrass. Okay, you'd want to use something like a single auger juicer that would be more efficient at juicing the wheatgrass. But for example, if you want to juice a lot of carrots and a lot of greens, you know, some of the things like kale, chard, and things like that, collard greens, I mean, even things like, you know, things like weeds, I mean, dandelion greens, I mean, they're considered weeds, but, you know, at your local Whole Foods, you could buy them organic for $2.90, you know, $3 a bunch. This will do great on the greens and get you real high quality juice, you know, with a really dry pulp. Visit discountjuicers.com/YouTube for some special promotional offers for our YouTube visitors. Thank you very much.